The year was 1519, and in the dimly lit chamber of an ancient monastery, an old monk lay on his deathbed. His breath was shallow, his hands trembling as he scribbled his final words onto a fragile parchment. The candle beside him flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. As he finished writing, he folded the parchment carefully, sealed it with wax, and whispered to the young apprentice beside him, "Take this, bury it, and tell no one. If this truth is ever revealed, the world will never be the same." The apprentice hesitated but obeyed. That night, he crept into the monastery's courtyard, dug a hole beneath the roots of an ancient oak tree, and buried the parchment deep within the earth. He covered it carefully, his heart pounding with fear. Whatever was written on that parchment was not meant to be seen again. Centuries passed, wars were fought, kingdoms rose and fell, and the world moved on, unaware of the secret lying beneath that very monastery. Then, in 1802, a group of explorers, led by a French historian named Louis Duval, stumbled upon the ruins of the monastery. The walls were crumbling, overtaken by vines and moss, but something about the place felt unsettling. While searching through the debris, one of the explorers' shovels hit something solid beneath the dirt. After hours of careful excavation, they unearthed a rusted iron chest, its lid locked and sealed with strange markings. Excitement buzzed through the group. What lay inside? Treasure? Relics? They forced the chest open, and inside, wrapped in layers of decayed cloth, was the fragile parchment, its Latin script still visible. As Duval read the first few lines, his face went pale, his hands trembled, just like the monks had centuries ago. This is impossible. The parchment contained a truth so dangerous, so devastating, that it had been deliberately erased from history. But before the explorers could even discuss their discovery, strange things began to happen. That very night, one of them vanished without a trace. The next day, another was found dead in his tent, his throat slit open. Fear spread among the survivors, and in desperation, Duval decided to send the parchment to a secret society of scholars in Paris. But the parchment never arrived. The courier carrying it was found floating in the Seine River, his belongings missing. The document had disappeared, as if history itself had swallowed it whole. What was on that parchment? Some say it contained proof of a forgotten empire, one that predated all known civilizations. Others believe it revealed a hidden bloodline, a lost heir to a throne that should never have been taken. But the most terrifying theory? It held evidence that the greatest events in human history, wars, revolutions, even the rise and fall of empires, were never accidents. They were orchestrated, controlled by an unseen force that still exists today. For years, whispers of the lost parchment spread among historians, but no one dared to investigate. Those who did met untimely deaths. Then, in 1998, an independent researcher working in the Vatican archives accidentally referenced a sealed document from 1519 in an internal report. Within weeks, he was dismissed from his position, and a month later, he vanished without a trace. The Vatican refuses to acknowledge that the document ever existed. Governments around the world deny any knowledge of it. And yet, somewhere, buried deep within the shadows of history, the secret remains, waiting.